Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. This is the post-game show. Doing it a little bit later. The Miami Heat lost last night to the Phoenix Suns on the road, 115 to 112, in a pretty embarrassing loss. I know it was a close game. The Miami Heat had a chance to tie the game and force this to go into overtime, but the Miami Heat didn't even get a shot attempt off with 4.8 seconds left in the game. We'll get to that later, but ultimately disappointing loss for the Miami Heat because they were up by 15 points at one point in the third quarter. This is the third time this season in 7 games that they've been up against good teams and they've had double-digit leads and they've not been able to hold on to them because of the third quarter. So I wouldn't classify today as like a classic third quarter for the Miami Heat. They did score 29 points in that third quarter, but so did the Suns. But before the last 2 or 3 minutes of that third quarter, the Miami Heat were up by 15. They were crushing the Suns on the road, playing really good basketball and playing good defensively. And despite Bam Adebayo, who we will get into, who had maybe one of his worst games of his career, they were still able to be up by 15. Spo made his adjustments in rotation. Forgot exactly who was in at that point, but either way, the Suns ended that third quarter on a 15-2 run to cut the deficit. So it was a 2 or 3 point game going into the fourth quarter versus the Miami Heat having a double-digit lead. This is something they did against the Knicks. They were up by 13 in the third quarter, midway through the third quarter. The Knicks go on a 25-7 run and end up taking a lead going into the fourth quarter. And that also happened with the Kings. We were up by 15 points in the third quarter. They chip away, and we have a bad third quarter as usual. And they come within a few points into the fourth quarter. Ultimately, we lose to the Kings as well. So 3 playoff caliber teams, and we've had double-digit leads in the third quarter. We've blown it. So that's one huge issue there. And again, the third quarter, continuous issue. And I'll still classify this as a third quarter because you still shit the bed in the last 2 minutes and allowed that 15-2 run. That's huge. Going back to Bam Adebayo, I guess 5 for 21 from the field, just not going to cut it. Like one of his worst performances ever offensively. All around game, he was fine. 12 points, 12 boards, 6 assists, 5 steals, 1 block, only 2 free throws, 2 for 2. Only 1 turnover. So, like, everything else, like, fine. Bam is fine defensively to a certain degree. We can get to that, too, as well. But offensively, horrendous. Just, he did take a lot of shots. So, I mean, he wasn't really passive, but he was being passive when Nurkic was giving him space, playing in that drop, kind of like how Brook Lopez did when the Heat played against the Bucks 2 or 3 years ago when they beat us 4-1, or did they sweep us? I think they swept us when Jimmy said he was stupidly locked in. So, they were playing drop and giving Bam all the space he wanted. He only took 1 3, but he was so hesitant, not looking for a shot. And he missed 7 shots in the restricted area alone. Like 14 of his shots were in the paint, and he missed 14 of those shots. Like you need to hit some of those shots. You're not going to make all of those shots, Bam, but 7 in the restricted area, like doesn't play good against players of size. Nurkic is obviously 7 foot, big dude, but pretty embarrassing game offensively for Bam Adebayo. He's had a rough offensive season so far. He's had 1 good game where he had 30-plus points against the Wizards, who are a horrible team. Other than that, Bam has had 12, 16, 11, 11, 9. He's averaging like 12 or 13 points per game outside of that 30-point game against the Wizards. So Bam Adebayo, I think, was the biggest person to blame on his offensive game. He is one of the main reasons why we lost this game. Other reasons, which we'll get into, are, let's say, Jimmy Butler, who's playing fine. Jimmy is good. He's solid. He's not playing like a superstar. He's not playing like an all-star. He's playing like a very good role player, in my opinion. Yes, he's had a couple good games against bad teams where he had 26 points, like 24 points, but Jimmy, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 for 13 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 3 from 3 from the line. If he's not getting to the free throw line, he's not going to have those 20-point games. Yes, he was efficient, 6 for 13 from the field. Not super efficient, but efficient enough. But if he's not going to get to the free throw line 8 to 10 times, then you're going to see Jimmy giving you like 15, 16 points per game, which is fine if he's saving this for the playoffs. But that means Herro has to ball out. Bam has to ball out. Terry has to ball out. And if they don't, that's not a formula for success. But also, Jimmy, you're making $48 million this year. You're our max player. You wanted an extension. You wanted a max. Like, you're not going to get a max if you're going to be like passive and not aggressive during these games, especially against teams that are good teams on the road, that where we need you to step up and play like that $50 million a year player. Like, I don't care. You're healthy and you're out there on the floor. Like, sure, maybe you can like take a break in the second quarter or so, or take your foot off the gas to reserve some energy for later. But like that second half, you should be going balls to the wall. You shouldn't wait to the fourth quarter like you did in the Kings game, which was great. And you helped us come back. But you're being super lazy in those first few quarters. And like, we can't have that, man. So Jimmy Butler, that's an issue right there. Jimmy and Bam, it starts with them too. They have been bad this season. They haven't been horrible, but they have not been good. They have not been leading this team. Tyler Herro has been our best player. I'm going to give him props. Never been a Tyler Herro hater. Talk shit on him. I've talked shit on Jimmy. I've talked shit on Bam. I'm doing that right now. Like, it's what have you done for me lately? Like, if you're doing well, I will compliment you. If you're not playing well, I will call you out. And Tyler Herro is playing better than anybody on this team in this early 7-game part of the season. He has been doing really good overall, especially from the scoring department. He had 28 points last night, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 9 for 15 from the field, 5 for 9 from 3, 5 for 5 from the line. 3 turnovers, he can clean that up. But he's being efficient. He's getting to the free throw line. He's getting to the rack. He's hitting threes at like 42, 43%, averaging 22 points per game. Tyler Herro is balling. Thank you, Tyler. Maybe we need to trade everybody else and build it around Tyler the way this team is playing. He's been great. So we need to step up. Like, you cannot have Tyler Herro playing this well and having Jimmy and Bam play this bad. It just doesn't make sense. Terry Rozier, first few games of the season, was playing really well. He's been bad lately. 10 shots. He was 2 for 10, 20% from the field. Horrible. 7.7 boards, 5 assists, 2 for 2 from 3, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. Not good enough. Not good enough. Him and Bam literally shot 7 for 31 from the field together. That's not going to cut it. He needs to step up. He's taking really tough shots. He just sometimes needs to take the first open shot and not have to do a sidestep, fadeaway, step back shot, whatever the hell he does. It's just really frustrating to see that. Interesting. Nikola Jovic started the game, played 5 minutes, and after that stint did not come back on the court. Haywood Highsmith in the rotation. He's been in and out of the rotation. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Best point of attack defender, a player that we played that should be, or paid enough to where he should be in our rotation. Probably our best defender outside of Bam. He had an amazing game and we wasted it. So this is becoming a theme too, outside of third quarters and shooting bad free throws. This game they shot really good free throws, but still getting out rebounded. Jimmy and Bam not playing to their standards. These are becoming themes. Haywood Highsmith, 19 points off the bench, 7 rebounds, 7 for 8 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3, 2 steals, no turnovers. He was huge. He had a huge N1 layup at the end of the game to get the Miami Heat within 2 points. Booker then hit that free throw, missed one of them. So Haywood gave us a chance. Haywood did as good as he could against Kevin Durant, who's one of the best players still at age 36, 32 points, cooking the Miami Heat. Jimmy and Bam at 27 combined. KD alone, 32. That's all she wrote right there. Game, set, match. That's all you need to know. That's all they need to know. Those two combined need to give you at least like 44 points, or 42 points at worst. Like, each get 20, 21 points. And they couldn't do that for us. So Highsmith, amazing game, blew the Haywood game. Last game against the Kings, blew the Pele game. So we need guys to step up. And some players are doing decent in limited minutes, like Duncan, Burks. Duncan 3 for 6 from 3. That was a good sign. He's been shooting better the last 2 games. Not in the rotation for the last shot of the game. Like, I don't understand why we don't have Duncan in there, who's our best 3-point shooter, when we need a 3 to tie. Or even Burks, who's been really good this season. He was 1 for 2. He only played 16 minutes, but 5 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Like, solid. It's on Jimmy. It's on Bam, especially last night. Like, I just don't understand this team at times. Kalaware finally got some meaningful minutes, 14 minutes. He had 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 for 6 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3 at a wide open 3, which is good. 1 block, 2 steal, 1 turnover. He was shaky out there. He looked okay. He had some good moments. He had some bad moments. He had some moments where he was getting jump happy, where he was trying to block every shot and falling for every shot fake. But overall, he's a rookie. It's like, what do you expect? Like, he's not going to be perfect. He just needs minutes and experience. And I'm happy to see him get 14 minutes over Thomas Bryant getting 14 to 16 minutes. So Thomas Bryant didn't play. We'll see what happens when Kevin Love comes back. He's been out, hasn't played yet this season. Jaime Hawkins was out too, but still, you can afford to have Jaime and Love out at this point. You still have Jimmy, you still have Tyler, you still have Bam. You need to win when you have your core 4, and especially when you're up by 15 in a third quarter. It's just, they always collapse. We're always in clutch games. This team is super frustrating right now, man. It's the same things. Yes, we played better in terms of the free throws. We shot 95%, which is fine. Still got out rebounded, which is not by a huge margin, but still it was enough. The Heat allowed and Bam allowed Nurkic to dominate him, and that's just another issue right there. But Sabonis had however many points, 20-something points, 16 rebounds the game before. Nurkic, who's not on the same level as Bam or Sabonis, had 20 points, 18 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 3 for 3 from 3, 6 straight from the field. He had that one horrendous BS at the end of the shot clock, like half-court 3. There was nothing but net. So unfortunate shot there. But either way, Bam is just getting dominated, like, by these centers. Like, I don't understand what's going on, like, psychologically with Bam. That was a huge issue. But to end it, the Miami Heat had a chance to tie the game with 3 minutes to go, and they can't even get a shot off. That's like a microcosm of the season so far. Just like that play right there. Just like finding ways to lose, not being good enough. Like, I don't understand. Like, I understand what happened. So inbound the ball to Terry. It was close to the half-court area, so he was too far out there. He gets rushed immediately and double-teamed. I think it was Royce O'Neal who doubled and left Jimmy Butler wide open. He jumps in the air. Terry's a small dude, throws it to Jimmy Butler, but he throws it too far, leads him too far off the three-point line. And then Jimmy has to backpedal to try to get a three-point shot off. As he lifts up, then he feels like he's going to get blocked or it's going to be a really hard shot. So he tries to throw it to Tyler, who's standing out of bounds next to him. Don't even get a shot off. Jimmy needs to shoot that shit. And yes, we could blame Terry, but like, he was blitzed, he was rushed. He had to throw it quickly. He had 2-3 seconds to do it and make that decision. But either way, what's embarrassing is we didn't get a shot off. And the other game against the Kings, we were down by 1 with 0.7 seconds left, so a very hard catch and shoot opportunity. We shoot like a half-court shot. So those are like the last 2 plays, like at the end of the games. Those are the plays that we like drew up or got off, essentially. So poor execution, and it's just horrendous. Like, we've had chances to win these games or tie these games, and one, you don't get a shot off, and the other one, you take like a 35-foot three-pointer. That's unreal. So anyway, the Heat, are on a 5-game road trip, 6-game. This is the 6-game road trip. They lost the first game. They're going to be playing against Nuggets, T-Wolves, Pacers, Detroit. It's going to be a rough road. So we'll see what happens. The Miami Heat need to win this next game because their season depends on it at this point. So anyway, that's all I have for the video. Thanks for watching.